All right, welcome everybody. It's Tuesday, which means it's the healthiest day of the week. Good to see everybody. Everyone's doing great. I've been loving the health challenge. Everyone has been doing so good. The pictures in there and just picking up some new habits and tips and ideas left and right. So I'm really just inspired because we chose to do this just to basically thrive through the holidays. But I think we're excelling in thriving through the holidays. So I just want to give you guys all a big congratulations. It's been really fun to see everything. And I think everyone's picking up something from somebody. And we're also more than 30 days in, which means one thing we talked about along the way was creating habits. And that's kind of what I want to talk to you about tonight. Hold on one second here. Gotta mute somebody. I think we might be good. Hold on. Nope, I got him. There we go. The one thing I want to talk to you about, still got somebody. Hold on. That's all right. The more the merrier. We're always good. All right, I think we're good now. I was being reminded today that support and guidance and mentorship is probably one of the most valuable things we have. And I was actually talking to my mommy, but who also happens to be my health coach, the person that shared health with me. And she said something very simple in passing, and I was thinking that was brilliant. And she was like, "What did I say?" And I was just like, just that it's in optimal health. We've talked about this many times. It's about choosing and having more optimal days than not, and just celebrating victories and never thinking that any victory or something in your journey that we've accomplished is too small, and always focusing on the next level of our health. The thing she talked about was it all boils down to the name of the game is not only, all the celebrations that you have, but it's how many habits we adopt of optimal health. So, and I was like, wow, that was so brilliant because it literally is, yes, we want to move forward on goals and yes, we want to accomplish it. But when you really break it down, it's about how many habits of health we adopt and put into our life. And as we know, you can't get rid of an old habit. Or a bad habit. You can only create a new habit. That's the only way to get rid of bad habits. So I just thought that'd be a great thing to talk about tonight is adopting habits of health. One thing we can always talk about, which is a great thing, is just support and community. And I think this is excelled when you have people around you choosing health and adopting health. So I think that's one, it's great that we've been doing so well together. And I want to say kudos to everybody, but also that this is a habit of health in itself. And so many of you guys have remained consistent through the holiday season. And I think it's a large part due to this and everyone else supporting each other. So I just really love this. I think it's really good. And, someone a while back made this slide for our program to remind people because, we really encourage people to focus that, optimal health really begins with getting to your goal weight. That's where most diets end off. And that's where we really want to encourage people to start their journey. So what we think maintenance looks like, we think it's like this glorified area where everything's perfect and the sun shines and nothing there. We have no bad days and everything's perfect. Well, really every single day is a moving forward in our health. And that's really what it takes. And that's why I was talking with someone else this week and they were like, wow, that was really, I just asked them what their next goal was that they were excited about. And they were like, yeah, it's so, I'm learning that habit of always looking at what's next. And we talked about kind of making sure we celebrate what they just accomplished because you never want to never forget to celebrate, but it's always about, what you're accomplishing next. And as long as you're moving forward, you can't move backwards. So that's what maintenance really looks like. If you just sit there and don't do anything, you're probably going to roll backwards. But if you're focused on whatever it is you're doing next and what habit you're adopting next into your life, you're always going to be moving forward. So I think I'm just going to go out on a limb and say, I think we've adopted some healthy habits throughout this holiday season. I've seen a lot of people, one, just make the habit of having a healthy holiday season in itself. That's great. I've seen water increase intake, our intake increase. I've seen healthy activities. I've seen cooking. I've seen prepping. I've seen healthy mind throughout this holiday season. So we're 30 days in. We're more than 30 days in. We're starting to make this habit now. So that's really all I had for you tonight because this topic is simple, but it's genius within itself. So I just wanted to give you guys a second to basically think about what habits you're adopting, because that's really the name of the game. What healthy habits are you adopting next? You don't have to adopt them all at once, but it's always good one after the other. What are you adopting next? I can see Leanne on my computer right now. She's drinking water. That's a healthy habit you developed. Hopefully you didn't spit it all out. I'm sorry. But just what habit you're building on right now. What if you look back and just say, wow, I've really actually added this habit and I didn't really think about it. So the name of the game is celebrating and adopting habits. So that's what I'm going to encourage you guys this week to think about: which ones you're working on next, which ones have you adopted, which ones are you building into habit right now. And I thought we would actually just keep this one short and kind of open it up to a few people to share. Just what are some of the habits that you have adopted throughout this time, or just things that you've accomplished or over your span that have helped you create health. And actually, I had a few people I was going to call on first. I don't know if they're here, but Casey Mitchell, I was going to call on you. All right, I think I can see you. Are you there? Hold on. I think he's trying to get on. Maybe not. He's trying. See him swiping on his phone desperately. It's okay, Casey. Hurry up. No, you can do it. I might call on somebody else. Let's see here. Denise, actually, I'll call on you and we'll probably open up to a few more. Denise, you've lost over 100 pounds with this program and you've changed your health radically. We can't even go into the details of it. Just what are some thoughts on this topic and some things you pass on there, tips? I mean, you've maintained your weight and you've continued to excel in your health. What are some tips that you'd pass on and what are some of the things you've adopted?
Yeah, I'm really excited because on Christmas Eve, it's going to be my 3rd year anniversary of keeping off 100 pounds, and I am going to do that happy dance again. I felt so silly doing it that first year, but you know what? Every year that day comes around, and I'm really, really excited about it. But Brad, for me, what was really important was staying connected with my health coach. That support was just incredible for me. And being around people who are like-minded, about health, and who are moving forward in their health and practicing those daily habits. I love the community and all the support, the encouragement, and life happens. So you just connect back with your health coach, help you get started and move forward and just keep picking up those tips. And right here, we've got an awesome, awesome community of people that want to move their health forward. And I'm excited about 2016 and seeing all these transformations. Thanks for letting me share.
That's awesome, Denise. I love it. That is a habit, staying closely connected to your health coach and the community, because it's something you built into habit. So you're constantly being reminded. That's a great habit there. I think Casey might have unmuted himself there. Are you there, Casey?
Hey, I think I finally figured it out.
All right. Well, Casey, we're talking about, the name of the game is really adopting habits. You've been a fitness competitor. You kick people's butts for a living. You excel in your health. You've had highs in your health, even though, excelling and competing and where you are now, you've had lows in your health, even though you knew exactly what to do. You've been able to live healthy for a long time. I was actually had you on a call a few months back, and you basically said for the first time in your life, you've always been like within a week of your best body composition possible. And that's not something you've ever really had for your life previous. It's kind of up and down or preparing for shows or kind of getting away and needing to fix it. What are just some tips in the idea of shoring up health? Anything that you have for this? I mean, you've helped so many people with health and experienced health yourself, and helped hundreds and thousands of people. What are some of your tips on this subject?
Brad, it's really consistency. It's really just staying true to what it is that you want to accomplish and to just staying within a striking distance. I mean, it's the most important thing we can do, because if we just practice a diet or practice a exercise routine just to fall back to old habits, right, when we achieve those goals, we're never going to live that life of optimal health. And that's what we're really all trying to do. The other thing is that, be a student of whatever it is you're learning. So when you're going through the program, you're learning how to become how to better understand your body, how to better understand nutrition. If you start exercising, learn about the human body, learn about biomechanics and proper form and technique, and it just keeps you interested and it keeps you focused on just becoming better at all those things that you do. And that just it gives you an appreciation for the science behind it, so that you can continue that progress and just the sky is the limit.
I love it. Be a student of what you're working on currently. All right, I got one last question for you. I mean, you gave some really good tips there. I mean, you live optimal health every single day. It's not because you go into a gym. I mean, that is part of the environment of health you created. But what is the one thing that's helped you, keep this level of health your whole life that you want to, that maybe we can glean from you?
You know what? The last 8 years, where I've maintained within these 5 pounds of my optimal weight goal, really what it is being a leader. It's being a leader to my team. It's being a leader to my members, my clients, and my other coaches. And when I, so for example, I'm here teaching a class tonight in the next 20 minutes or so. And there's days where I don't want to work out necessarily, but the support group and knowing that I'm here, knowing that I've committed to my team to be here, to take them through a class. By the time I leave here tonight, I'm going to be super excited. Everybody here is going to have a great workout and it's going to be awesome. But there's days where I don't feel like that. So having that community support and knowing that you're doing it for the betterment of everybody around you, that's really what drives me and what keeps me motivated.
Oh my gosh. I love it. So wanting to be a leader and surrounding yourself with things that encourage you to keep doing it, whether you feel like it or not, because you want to by the time you're done. I love it. Great tip, Casey. Who else has some stuff they want to share in victories on this subject? Anyone can feel free to jump in. Oh, don't make me call on somebody. I know many of you guys are like sitting there on the buzzer, like thinking about it. Oh, there we go. Kelly wants to. Go for it, Kelly.
All right. I'm going to do this because I have taken on the new level after getting healthy for about 3 years, kept 20 pounds off. I've decided to add the fitness for real. And so this is out of my comfort zone, but I'm doing it. I started a boot camp. I went in and got assessed on what I can do. And I actually felt better than I was better than I thought. So it's about taking that next step. Once you get to a place, even the coach asked me, what made you change? And I had been indifferent for too long. And I wanted to go one way or the other, and I didn't want to go backwards. So it was time to take the next step to challenge myself into a regular fitness regime. And so I'm going to give that my best shot. Casey, I could use you.
Yeah, I know. Casey needs to be transported all over the country. So you decided during this time, you've already lost your weight. You've improved on those habits. So many habits you've adopted. You wanted to adopt healthy activity, and you approached it in a way you're going to keep working at. I've seen the pictures you're posting. So that's your victory this time. You feel like that's something that you've worked into your routine. You're 30 days in now. You kind of probably miss it if you go too long without a workout, right?
I do miss it if I go too long. And I just feel like it's just added, it brings up the energy too, on those days where, you're getting by, you're doing okay, but that's coming, it really does boost it. So it really is another level to fitness or to our healthy journey, that we talk about healthy movement and whatever that is for you, we coach on that. So this is my new healthy movement because I was fine. I was in a lot of fun activities. I called myself a recreator, but I decided I needed to be more of a, routine exerciser. So it's helping me. And with my age, it's the smart thing to do too.
I love it. Great. So that's the healthy habit that you've adopted during the season. So well done. Let's hear maybe one or two more as we wrap up, because I know you guys got them. I've seen the pictures of them going in there. And just go ahead and take yourself off mute and share it. It could be something small. Yeah, go for it. Hey, new mommy. What new habit do you have?
Well, actually, that's my new habit is just getting it done throughout the day. Yesterday, I tried to do my yoga practice at 6 a.m., and that didn't happen. And throughout the day, it just wasn't happening. And then last night at 10 p.m., there I am on my yoga mat. So I could have given myself the excuse of, well, the day's over and I'll just do it tomorrow. And to just not let that be an excuse. Just, even if it was just 5-10 minutes, just to get it done, whatever that might look like, whether it's exercise or, a meal prep or reading your book before your healthy book before bed, or, whatever that looks like, no excuses, get it done before you go to bed. Just don't wait for tomorrow.
Oh, I love that one. That's really good. And then the focusing on building that habit in just spurs on the rest of your goals. Cause again, you're just collecting habits.
Absolutely.
Well done. Let's do one more and take it home tonight. And just remembering that the goal is just adopting habits. Maybe the habit is that we're going to start speaking up on these calls. I don't know. I'm just joking. Everyone's doing a great job here. And I'd love that you're hopping in the chat. Dan, I'm going to call on you, Dan, unless there's someone else that wants to speak. You're so good at always implementing habits. I know I get to work with you on your health on so many levels. So I know all the different victories you have. You want to share some of the things you've implemented in there, Dan? Danny boy?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Well, and it really, what hit me this week, I posted on our Facebook group, but we've had some illness in the house the last few weeks that, anyway, but what I love about everything that people are saying is that, we can control what we can control. We can take advantage of what we can control. There's things that are going to happen that we can't, but it feels good. And it feels good when, for me, this week was just all about, just eating every 2 to 3 hours and drinking water. Like that was what I needed to focus on and what helped me get through. And it's what helped me feel good, So I love that we can control how we act, and how instead of react, we can act through whatever comes in. And so for me, that's been a huge accomplishment this week, and just a light bulb to know that, again, everything that everybody said was just a matter of being in control of what we want and what we want moving forward. And it's a really cool thing. It's empowering for sure.
I love it. I mean, just a small habit as like when you get sick, something that can throw off your routine so much, just how to get right back in the routine. I love that. Like, for instance, we just got back from our vacation. One thing I've learned, because one thing we love to do is travel, is I'm always chomping at the bit to get back into my routine when I get home. Now, that's a habit I've implemented, because most people, we go on vacation, it throws us off, maybe way off, maybe off for a week. I'm already chomping at the bit the second I get back into town, because not that I've gotten too far off. That's another habit I've adopted, but just to know that if I get sick, if I take a week and go somewhere, just to get right back into the routine. And that's something that usually throws people off. And that's another habit out there. So I want to thank everyone that shared tonight, guys. The name of the game is adopting habits. That's really what it's about, and building on it, because those spur us forward. So I want to thank everyone that shared tonight. So Denise, Dan, Tawny, Casey, all great stuff. And what I love about this is we have all different backgrounds, all different sizes, but they're all like close to the same level of fitness now. So it doesn't matter where you come from. It's about moving towards optimal health and adopting habits and moving forward. So with that being said, great job tuning in tonight, everybody. Thanks for all your guys' energy and your support. It has truly been an amazing holiday season with you all. I think everyone's been on purpose. And my last tip for you guys all today is it's the holiday season. People are getting stressed. People are forgetting about what matters most. If you get a second this week, this is another thing that's good for your health. Do something extra for somebody this week. It makes a difference, and generally people pay that forward. So you never know what a small act of kindness will do, not only for yourself, but those around you. So that's the tip of the week. Have a great day, everybody. Proud of you guys, and thanks for everyone that shared.
Thanks, Brad.